So this introduction to SPM and project evaluation almost we covered, and it may be a revision session and few more problems, we not exactly problems, some exercises, okay, case study, how you can expect questions in that perspective, we shall cover today. So in introduction to SPM, we have seen why SPM, software projects versus other projects, what is the difficulty we have with the software projects, and how do we set clear objectives. So if the objectives are clearly set, it is easy for us to track whether we are going on the correct path. Okay, so that can be easily done, but we have to spend the time in clearly specifying the objective. Objective cannot be a single sentence, it may be multiple sentences. It differs based on the stakeholders' perspective. So collectively, we have to take everything, all the perspectives, and set what are all the clear objectives. So once the clear objectives are made, that are in hand, then surely we can have some hope the project will lead to success. And as next, we have seen the ways of categorizing software projects. In different ways we can categorize multiple categories like contractual project or in-house projects. Likewise, in different ways we can categorize them, and we have to get all the stakeholders' perspectives, 360-degree perspectives. Once we received all these perspectives and we have consolidated and that has been reflected in the objective, then yes, halfway done, and we can list out what are all the major activities covered by SPM, like simply management, we could say monitoring the project, but actually it involves planning, staffing, everything, risk management, so many things. If some risk happens, how we are mitigating from the risk, all those are part of this. So as a major group, we could say feasibility study, planning, and execution. So these three are the major activities. All these will come inside what I told: staffing, allocating resources, everything. Okay, risk planning, risk mitigation, yeah, all these, controlling the activities when it is going beyond schedule and beyond budget, all these will come under any of these three categories. Okay, so yes, management includes all those list of activities. And then traditional practice was different, and modern practices we have seen how it is different, what is given as focus than the traditional one. So these are covered in introduction to SPM, very basic about SPM. And next, project evaluation. In this, you can consider as part 2 of unit 1. So in that, we have seen what is a business case, how a project manager maintains a business case, and to justify about this project, what are all the things he should keep about the project, to justify it to the management, why this project has been taken, approved to carry out. So this complete subject we are studying in the perspective of a project manager. So you all have to assume yourself as a project manager and what we can do. And next, project portfolio management. This is a very important task in real life, like in normal IT industry. An industry should have a good project portfolio. We can call that company as a successful company. Okay, so it lies in the hands of project managers. So project portfolio management, list of all the ongoing projects and the projects that are in consideration to take up. So all these details together we are calling it as project portfolio, and managing that. Managing here means he has to have a balance of highly profitable projects and moderately profitable, low profitable likewise, because highly profitable requires high investment, high risk will also be there. Likewise, if all the things are highly profitable means all will go as highly risky. if profit is not coming as expected. So highly risky. So if everything went up, one day will be in negative, like not even zero amount. It will be in negative amount with some loans and all. So that should be avoided. So we should have some medium profitable projects also in the portfolio. So some balance should be made by the project manager. And how do we evaluate the individual project? So that part we have seen, and collectively few projects are coming, or we have to evaluate or rank the projects, or individual project we have to evaluate. So the common techniques that are followed in the industry are, as we have seen, net profit, those things. Okay, so we have seen some sample exercises. How do we do this cost benefit evaluation based on the cash flow forecast? This forecast is not the original uh, actual income. Forecast means what? We are predicting at the end of this year this much amount will come at the end of this year. So the prediction reasonably we have to fix, and only based on that figures we are calculating it. So if that goes wrong, the total estimation will go wrong. So carefully we have to do that. Once we have the cash flow forecasts in hand, then normally we can apply all these techniques, net profit, payback period, all those things according to the need of the project. In what way we have to manage the project portfolio, based on that we can choose any project. Okay, and then we have seen risk evaluation. This risk evaluation is dealing about business risk. Okay, if something went wrong, some profit is not happening. So in that case, how do we manage? Like how do we take up the project so that in future we'll be avoiding the risk and the loss. So that perspective. And in third and fourth unit, again we'll be seeing risk. That risk is mainly for carrying out the project. That is project risk. Okay, several aspects regarding project risk. Now here risk evaluation means business risk. Okay, so all these things comes under unit 1. And so you can have some exercises like in different perspectives you can expect questions. So I am giving a few samples here. Consider a software project that is to develop an online student data management system. Identify the main stakeholders of the project. Draw up objectives for the project. For the objectives, identify the measure of effectiveness. So this is the question. So what we should do? We have to identify stakeholders and objectives. And for the objective, we have to identify the measure of effectiveness. Like how do we measure the success of this project? So stakeholders we could give like students, staff, parents. Staff include both teaching and non-teaching staff, administering team, project team. Likewise, you can add up. If something I have missed out, you can add up. Objectives: to implement an online student management system that facilitates all the stakeholders to have an up-to-date information about students and to retrieve reports in different perspectives as and when required. So this is in my own perspective I wrote, like originally what the client asks for. So that we have to get, and accordingly we have to narrate this. And to measure the success, we can carry out periodical checking to ensure up-to-date information after any change has been made. Or we can ensure whether it provides required or adequate information for all stakeholders. For parent side, whether it is giving enough information. For student side, whether it is giving enough information. For staff side, is it easily accessible to all people? Likewise. And try to take all possible reports and test for its consistency. So that also we can do. So these are all the possible ways we can measure the effectiveness of this project. This is all, these are written in my own way. You can have your own perspective. Okay, so You can have your own way of writing this. And the key features to be included in the project. So these are extra to have a better clarity on the objective, like attendance entry by staffs, viewing attendance reports by staffs, viewing individual attendance by students, their own attendance, mark entry by staffs, viewing mark reports by staffs, view individual mark or result by students, students personal data entry and management, like we are collecting your address, contact number, parents information, like this, those information. Students extracurricular co-curricular data entry and management, sending reports to parents, online report analysis. So all these are to be added into that system. So likewise we can list out, and after listing out this also we can define the objective. Okay, so this objective can be, or cross verify the objective after listing all these things. Okay, so the clear objective will give us a confident how do we start and how do we complete progress, that idea. Okay, so writing the objective of any project is an important task. And next, so this is for evaluating a project to do a feasibility study. So they have given one cash flow forecast of a simple project only for 2 years. So whether it is worth to do this project. Okay, whether it is worth to do this project. So project X is there. Initially we have to invest $3,000, and at the end of first year we'll get $1,500, and at the end of second year we'll get $1,800. So now this is the idea of this project. Now if somebody is coming with this project, whether we are accepting the project or not. So we have to do a feasibility study and some cost benefit evaluation, whether it is really giving profit or not. So that we have to analyze and decide whether to accept this or not. So first thing we can do is what? Net profit. So if we calculate net profit, 1,500 plus 1,800, from that I can subtract this 3,000. So 3,000 is there. Yes, at the end of second year some profit is there. So we are getting like after spending, after subtracting the expenditure, something is in our hand. Okay, so this is a positive point. Net profit is $300. Next, payback period. So we could see in 2 years the 3,000 is taken back. Okay, so payback period is 2 years. Yes, that is also a positive side. Return on investment is there. Some return on investment is there. 5% is there. Okay, though it is not in a highly positive side. Okay, something is there. Return on investment is there. Then when we calculate NPV, so in the question they have given NPV, we can assume as 15%. 15% discount rate. So when you think of NPV, you have to remember the case. Tomorrow I am going to get 100 means the present value is only 91 rupees. Tomorrow I am going to get 110 means the present value is only worth for 10 rupees. That is actually discount rate. The present value, how do we calculate? After at the end of first year I am getting 1,500. Today I am not getting, but today I am spending $3,000. After 1 year, I am getting $1,500. What is the present value? Present worthiness. Okay, so that we have to calculate. Accordingly, we have to decide. Okay, so in 15% discount rate, so for this expenditure, this discounted value is 1. And at the end of first year, 1,500, for that 15% discounted value will be 0.8696, and for this 0.7561. And I have to multiply these two and I'll be getting this result. So this is the present value for future income. That is the discounted cash flow. Okay, present value for the future income. So this will come like this. Okay. So if I take the present value of future income subtracted from this expenditure. Okay. So if I like adding up all these, I'll be getting minus $334. So NPV value is coming in negative. So it is not worthy, though it is giving net profit, though it is giving a good payback period, and though it is giving some return on investment. When I calculate this NPV, it is in negative value. So negative value means it is not worthy to spend $3,000 now and getting back this much amount back. Not worthy. Okay. So the decision for this project is should not take up this. This is not at all profitable. Okay. So NPV. So we can have some interesting facts about NPV. So it is a financial tool. Still, many financial people, MBA experts, HRs are using this NPV to decide about the worthiness of the project. Okay. So it captures the concept of the relationship between present and future value of money. Okay. Present value and future value of money. So that relationship it is capturing correctly. The monetary linchpin between the present and future interest rates or the discount rates. That is the thing we have to do. Like whether we have to think of the interest rate or the discount rate. When to consider interest rate and when to consider discount rate. So that is the main thing here. If we have a present value and we want to calculate a future value, then we will be using the interest rate. Present value is there. In future, what is its value? Like you want to invest some money in bank likewise. So we'll be using the interest rate. And if we have future values, like in future this much amount will come, and I want to estimate the present worthiness today, then we'll be using the discount rate. Okay, so this you can remember, even you can apply this knowledge to your normal life also. Okay, your real life, what you are investing. After earning some money, you will be investing on something. So for that also this knowledge you can apply. Okay. uh, Worthiness of investing in a land, worthiness of investing in a house, how rent will come every year. For all those things you can apply these calculations. And if your father is having a business and that is giving income every year, like that, for that also you can apply this and you can help them out. Okay, really. What about that project, or you wanted to expand your family business and you wanted to invest some more, and you are predicting this much will come. So all those things you can apply all these. Okay. The interest rates and discount rates are two sides of the same coin to use as a money metaphor. Okay. So negative NPV not to be considered for evaluation. It is not worth doing, though it gives some profit at later years. That's what the conclusion for this simple project X. So the main drivers in NPV calculation is the cash flow. This is to be correctly predicted, timing of the cash flow, and we have to fix the correct discount rate. But normally fixing a correct discount rate, like for this project X, I have fixed the discount rate 15%. If I fix the discount rate at 8%, that may not go in negative range. But sometimes we have to check with the high discount rate also. Okay, in that case, if it is not giving, then we have to reject the project. So lower discount rate means NPV will be higher. Higher discount rates means it will decrease the NPV. This is obvious. Okay, but still we have to check up the little change in the discount rate will not have much impact on the NPV. Then we can choose that as a good project. So we need to determine whether NPV is greater than 0. If it is less than 0, surely it is not worthy. Okay. Yes, if it is greater than 0 means the costs are less than the benefits and we should do the project or make the investment. Okay. Cost means expenditure. Expenditure are less than the benefits. We are investing less, benefits are high. And similarly for this project, what we have seen already, project 1 is giving some profit and payback period is 5 years, return on investment is also good and it is giving some positive value. But for project 2, you could see, though it is giving 1 lakh profit, the return on investment is very low compared to this and the NPV is totally negative. It is a very high negative value. So completely we should avoid taking this project. Okay, so this project, though it seems like giving some profit, it is not worthy. So do not take up this project. And all other 3 projects, yes, we can take up. So these are all giving some positive NPV value. We can take up this. So the analogy here is which one is good, very low NPV or high NPV. So that scenario is still not addressed, like positive NPV is good. In that perspective, we can think high NPV is good or moderate NPV. In that perspective, still a good conclusion is not yet derived. Okay. So maybe management gurus may know that. So positive NPV, yes, we can go for that. So in that case, to decide among these 3, we can go with the other measures. Okay, return on investment and payback period and net profit. After seeing this NPV, okay, in that perspective, we can rank the projects. That may be a good approach. And to conclude, it is interesting to note that project 1 and project 3 have same initial investment, same net profit, same ROI, but their NPV values are different. I simply go back here. You could see project 1 and project 3. Same net profit, same return on investment, but the NPV values are completely different with a wide range. Okay. So how do we draw up conclusion? So we can have payback period is less here and this net present value is somewhat higher than this. So according to the our own perception, like here money is coming only at the later part. Bulk profit is we are achieving only at the later stage. So that is actually reflected in the NPV value. Okay, so that's why this NPV value is very low and this is high. So constantly here we are getting some income. So that is reflected in the NPV. So we can go with project 4 and 3. These 2 are in front line. And next project 1, project 2, not at all worthy. Okay. So project 2 is having NPV less than 0. So it is not worth doing, though it gives a profit. So these are all the final conclusion. With some discount rate, project 4 is giving higher NPV. So preferably that can be in rank 1. Same discount rate. But with different discount rate we have calculated means maybe because of some reasons different discount rate for different projects. That also happens. So in that case with high discount rate still it is giving a positive NPV means then that is preferable. Okay. So it is a benchmark metric. It is the best capital budgeting tool as far as the management gurus considered. If we think the project is a lot riskier, because till now in this of calculations, the risk is not at all considered. If we think it is a riskier project, then we can increase the discount rate to reflect the risk. We are calculating the NPV for 15% means it is moderately riskier means add 2% extra. Okay, discount rate. In that way, we can manage the present value, discounted cash flow. So the challenge here is how do we derive a suitable discount rate for that particular project. So that is the challenge here. And we may fix it based on the target rate of return that we are expecting. If we carry out this project, I am expecting 15% return on investment in future. Means we can fix the discount rate as 15%. Like some companies always will have a aim, like whatever project they take up, they need at least 20% return on investment. Only then they will take up the project. So they can have 20% as the discount rate. Okay, so based on that, they can derive a suitable NPV value. So the link for more discussion on NPV, because it is a current topic for the management people. You can refer this link. I'll be posting this PPT in Google Classroom, so you can utilize this link. Okay. The disadvantage of NPV, it is having a drawback, downside also. Although NPV is used to compute the project's worthiness, it might not be directly comparable with earnings from other investments or the cost of borrowing capital, like expenditure that we are getting from bank, or we are getting a loan and starting the project. Okay, so this is mainly like I am having the money and I am investing. In that perspective, this NPV is designed. Borrowing cost means we have to pay the interest to the person from where we are borrowing. So in that perspective means NPV may not give a proper justification. So NPV is a gold standard, but using it along with IRR, internal rate of return, makes for even better analysis, and we can have a good decision making. So internal rate of return, as I have given the definition already, it attempts to provide profitability measure as a percentage. Okay, it is not exactly like rate of return on investment. It is little difference. Like we can think of this, we can calculate this internal rate of return as the percentage discount rate that would produce NPV value 0. So like previously we have calculated for project 1, 2, 3 and all, NPV value 618. For some projects it is going negative. So we can adjust the discount rate 15% what it is coming, 14% what it is coming, 13% what it is coming. When it is exactly 0, so that percentage we are calling it as IRR, internal rate of return. Okay, so normally that is calculated using a spreadsheet. Management gurus will keep on doing this for each and every project. Okay, so the downside of IRR is it does not indicate the absolute size of the return, only in the percentage. Okay, so a project with an NPV of 1 lakh and an IRR of 15%, for which we are getting NPV is equal to 0, and that can be more attractive than one with NPV of 10,000 and IRR of 18. So though we are saying 18% IRR, but still if we check for a smaller value 18%, for a higher value 15%. In that perspective, we think for a higher value 15% is beneficial than for a lower value higher percentage. Okay, so in that perspective it should be considered, analyzed. So the return on capital is lower, but the net benefits are greater for the customers. Here only 15%, but 15% on 1 lakh. So that sort of benefit is higher, worthy when compared to the second case. And another objection to IRR is under certain conditions we'll be getting more than one discount rate that will produce 0 NPV. So that situation may occur for some cases. In that case, we can consider the lowest value. Like for 15% also it is giving 0. For 16% also it is giving 0, means choose the lowest, 15%. So NPV and IRR collectively utilized by management gurus to evaluate a particular project. They are called as discounted cash flow techniques. So third exercise would be, yes, it is time. So it is very small exercise. Company X is considering when to replace its sales order processing system. It is following one software. It wants to uh, uh, replace, and it is in a decision making process whether to replace it immediately or we can postpone it for 2 more years. So that is the decision the company has to make. Okay. So the decision depends upon the rate at which the business expands. If the business expands, means there is a market for this product immediately. Then if they are replacing it, many people will purchase. That means yes, it is profitable. If nobody is going to purchase immediately, there is no market at all, means then they can postpone the replacement. Okay. So if the market share increases, uh, they may think that within 2 years we can replace, not immediately. And if they are not replacing the system in time, they may have to spend much expensive option. Immediately market is becoming boom, means they will take some time to replace that. That period they will go to another vendor. The business will be lost. We will lost revenue. Clients will go to the opponent party. Okay. So the replacing the system immediately means they have to spend money. It is an expensive operation, and if the market is not expanding, then that will be a problem for them. So these are all the considerations. In that case, how do they take decision? Okay, quantitatively they have to measure it and take decision. So how they are taking decision? Based on the decision tree, and whether to extend or not. So if they are extending the existing work, okay, simply do some modification and using the same. Whether they are going to replace the complete software. Okay, so these are the two choices they have. Extending means if market is not expanding, market is very dull. So in that case, NPV based on the cash flow forecast, NPV they are getting is 70, positive value 75,000. Positive NPV is good always. If the market is going expanding, there is a wide market, but we are simply extending the software, not replaced it. Okay, so it is a old software. So in that case, we'll be losing our sum of revenues. So NPV would be negative minus 1 lakh. So that is a downside for them. And they are immediately replacing it, and market is expanding. Yes, that is a positive sign. Already we have replaced, we are ready, and we can sell it. Okay, whenever many people are coming and asking for it, we can sell it. Yes, in that case, they can calculate NPV, that is coming around 2,50,000. Now, they replaced it, but business is dull. Nobody is opting for it. No expansion in the market. Then in that case, NPV would be minus 50,000. So it depends upon the value. Negative here, okay, but how much? Here negative 1 lakh, here negative 50,000. Here positive 2,50,000, but here 75,000. So what they are doing? They are checking for the likelihood of the market expansion. Okay. So 80% for no expansion chance. Market is coming means yes, many are using that frequently. For that only 20% chance is there. So what they are doing? They are taking the probability and multiplying it. So for expansion only 20% chance, so multiplied with 0.2. For this 80% chance, so multiplying it with 0.8. So when they calculate in this way, 0.2 and the corresponding value. They are deriving out for this, keeping the old software, expected value is 40,000. For replacing the software, the expected value is 10,000. So obviously what we will go for keeping the existing software. Simply do some modification in the existing software and keep it. So the decision taken is extending the software, do not replace it now. So in that way, project managers can take decision outcome. So how do we derive objectives and identify stakeholders, and how do we do the feasibility study, and how do we do the risk evaluation? So with this, I hope you got some idea how unit 1 is constructed. So quickly, all of you send your roll numbers. Yes. So after sending your roll number, yes, thank you. If you have any doubt regarding the tomorrow's project R, you can ask me. Thank you all.